Okay, next is dummy variables. Dummy variables are for the cut and QCut takes numerical column and converts them into categorical columns, right? Each bin being a category. So once it is category, then you cannot use those categorical columns in numerical modeling. It can be used in non-numeric modeling like decision tree or some Bayesian model, yeah. But if you're using regression or neural networks, then you can't use categories. You have to convert them into numerical values back again. Of course, now it's not going to be the actual values previously used. Sometimes if the actual values is what we want, then instead of using the binned columns, we use the actual values, which is okay. But there are columns which to begin with are categories, like major or sex or region or state and things like that. These are, by nature, they are categorical variables. Okay, so to convert them into numerical variables, there are two ways of looking at it. One is if the categorical variable is an ordinal variable. Ordinal means what? That is an ordering, right? So, for example, grades. So, or grade GPA. So you have 4, 3, 2, and 1, right? For A, B, C, D, and 0 as for F. Okay. So if that is so, you can convert the letter grades into the GPA equivalent 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, and that would be it. So now you have a numerical column. That's it. Okay. And there are methods for doing that, and we've already. You can use a dictionary and then say A for B, whatever, and apply it, and you get it, right? But if it is not ordinal, if it is nominal, so nominal would be like a major, right? Accounting, finance, management, business analytics, and so on. So there is no ordering there, even though we may like to have an ordering, but naturally there is no order per se. So then what we have to do is we create dummy variables. Okay. So for each possible value, so let's take the case there are 3. Okay. So we have to keep it simple. Let's say that major, there are only 3 possible values. So accounting, finance, and management. Okay, A, F, and M. Okay, so we have some so it will be something like that, right? There's lots of rows. Each person, whatever major is, and you specify that. Okay. Now we can create a dummy variable, say M major A, major F, and major M. Okay. So this one is an indicator variable, so you can call it indicator as well. This one is going to indicate whether major is A or not. So for the first one, it's going to say yes, it is, major is A. The second one, major is not A, so it's going to have a 0. So 1, 0, 1, 0, and so on. Okay. It's going to indicate whether it is, so for each possible value, okay, there are 3 possible values, okay, we are assuming for purpose of simplicity there are only 3 possible values, then that would be it. So this is a the indicator variable for major of finance, so it's going to be 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Right? For major M, it's going to be what? 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Right? So that's what get dummies is going to do. When you use pd.getDummies, it's going to create, okay, you see that it's going to create additional columns, and then each indicator variable will say whether that's the value or not. Okay. Now it turns out that you really don't need one indicator variable for each possibility. Okay. If you know 2, the third can be inferred. So for example, if major is not A, if major is not F, okay, major is not A, major is not F, then it has to be M. Right? So whenever these two columns are zeros, then this will be, has to be 1, cannot be anything else. This is so, no matter how many possibilities you have, you need only one less than the number of possibilities to fully define all the values. So you look at how many, okay, suppose if we say K is the number of categories. Right? Number of dummies needed is K minus 1. Now what PD dummies, PD get dummies will do is it's going to get you K dummies. It's going to let you figure out what you want, because there are some models like decision tree where you can use all K dummy variables. But numerical modeling, like regression analysis, neural networks, you will need only K minus 1. Okay. So you have there is an option for that. Drop first. Okay. So drop first, true or false. Okay. If it is true, then it will get you only K minus 1 dummies. Okay. All right. Let's run this. Okay. So DF3 V4. So there is. Okay, let's start from here first. Let's do a DF3 first. Okay, DF3. I'm sorry, DF3. Now look at V4. V4 has A, B, C, D, and whatever. So you run V4 dot unique, and then you see that there are 4 possible values. DF4. A, B, C, and D for V4. And you can do the same thing for 5. Okay. Well, you don't have to. I'm just doing it so that we can understand what's going on. There is X and Y. Right? Those are the 2 unique values for V5. There are 4 unique values for V4. So now if I say PD dot get dummies, then it's going to take V4, and there are 4 possible values, so it's going to create 1 indicator variable for each of them. So it's going to return k full, for one indicator for each possible value. And then for V5, it's going to give me one for x and one for y. And of course, since I have bins, so it's building dummy variables for the binned column as well. Because binned column is a category column, right? Now, if you say drop first equal to true, then you see that V4, the first one, A is gone. It only gives me k minus 1 dummy variables for V4. For V5, there is only one dummy variable, and the same for the binned. So you get k minus 1 dummy variables when you use drop first equal to true. All right? All right, let's look at DFQ10 equal to DFQ6 dot copy. All right, so let's make a copy of that and create k minus 1 dummy variable. So it's pretty straightforward, I guess. So PD dot get dummies DFQ10, right? Okay. So now we want only k minus 1 dummy variables. So we have to say drop first is true. Okay. So then it gives us and the nice thing about dummies is that you don't have to specify what those category columns are. It's going to look at the data type, and if it is categories column, then it's going to generate your dummies just for those. It's not going to throw an error that, hey, you're sending me some numeric columns as well. No, it's going to say, hey, this is numeric column, so let's not worry about that. Let's only look at the category columns, and it will convert category columns. It automatically includes the prefix. Okay, and you can control the prefix. So here it's going to take the variable name and then add an underscore and then the value of the category or the name of the category, so that the column name is automatically built, and you can control that. You can change the suffix to something else, okay, but usually that's not a good idea. So we'll keep the suffix as it is. Okay. So we're able to run the get dummies function.